of March 9th, 2021. My name is Caitlin.
And I am Michelle. Welcome to your TNN.
A couple weeks ago, Jasmine Harrison became the youngest woman to row alone across an ocean. It took the 21-year-old swimming teacher just over 70 days to row across the Atlantic Ocean. Mrs. Harrison, who's from England, didn't have loads of experience in rowing long distances. She got the idea 3 years earlier when she happened to be in Antigua and saw the end of 2017 the Tiddler Whiskey Atlantic Challenge. I just thought I wanted to do it, so I'm going to do it, she said every day. Mrs. Harrison would row about 12 hours, pushing her 550-pound boat across the ocean. On average, she rowed about 20,000 strokes a day, covering roughly 60 miles. She accidentally dropped her speaker in the middle of the ocean, so she had to finish her trip with no music. But she met a lot of animal friends along the way.
It is March, and here in Arizona, that means one thing: spring training baseball. Last week marked the first time since March 12th of last year that Major League Baseball has allowed in-person fans at their games. While it may look a little different and the stadium isn't packed, players mentioned that they have loved having fans back in the seats, even if it is reduced capacity. If you are going to attend a spring training baseball game, some things will look a little different. Seating on the grass is only allowed in certain pre-marked areas. Masks must be worn except while eating or drinking. And stadiums are only allowing limited seats even with all that. Baseball fans are extremely happy to be back at the ballpark. Now let's go over to Ms. Gia Cavelli with Weekly Update.
Good morning, Tartesso parents, students, and staff. It is going to be a great week. We have 2 early release days this week on Thursday and Friday, and those are designated for parent-teacher conferences. Teachers will be sending information to you to sign up for conferences. And so please make sure you're picking a time. It's very important that you meet with teachers to see how your children are doing and to ask any questions during this difficult year. So that is going on this week, and then next week is spring break, so we will not have school March 16th through the 19th, and we will resume on Tuesday, March 23rd. So again, check your remind messages and emails for information from teachers on parent conferences. We will have early release at 11:15 a.m. on Thursday and Friday, and teachers will be doing conferences on Thursday. They will offer a late evening until 7 p.m. to accommodate working parents, and there will be a dinner break from 4 to 5 p.m. on Thursday. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you during parent-teacher conferences, but they will be scheduled virtually. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Drew Cavelli. Let's head to Counseling Corner with Mrs. Williams.
Hello, Saddle Mountain. This is Mrs. Williams with a message from the Counseling Corner. This month we are talking about honesty. Honesty is not just telling the truth, it's also about not hiding the truth. If you have made a mistake, it's a good practice to just admit that you made a mistake and be honest about it instead of trying to hide it. Here's a secret. People usually find out what you've done in the end, so you might as well just be honest about it. You'll feel so much better about it because you won't have to keep it hidden anymore. Okay, so this month is Women's History Month. Today we are highlighting American educator Helen Keller. She overcame adversity of being blind and deaf, that's where you can't hear or see, to become one of the 20th century's leading humanitarians. In 1915, along with a renowned city planner, George Keller, she co-founded Helen Keller International to help with the causes and consequences of blindness and malnutrition. Malnutrition means when you don't get enough to eat and drink. In her life, Keller mastered many methods of communicating, including touching lips for reading, Braille, speech, and typing, and sign language. She also was able to do finger spelling. One of her quotes says, "The best and most beautiful thing in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." And this is her picture. How amazing. I hope we are all being safe, being kind, staying healthy, and being the best that we can be. And remember, we are all capable of success. No exceptions. Have a great week. Bye.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams. Now here's sports with Skylar and Damien.
Welcome to Sports News. My name is Skylar.
And I'm Damien.
Let's get right to the biggest announcement this year in AZ Sports News. Former Houston Texan J.J. Watt is coming to the Arizona Cardinals. He signed a 2-year contract worth $30 million. This is huge news for the Cardinals and will add some much-needed talent to the defense.
The Arizona Coyotes have lost 2 games in a row to the Colorado Avalanche. They are now 9-3. It is possible that they may be looking to trade some of their key players before the deadline in hopes of getting some high draft picks. The Suns keep playing some good basketball. Devin Booker scored 43 points against the Timberwolves and 118-99 to win.
They are now 22-11. The Diamondbacks split their first 2 games of spring training, beating the Rockies, but then losing to the Brewers. See you next time on Sports News.
Thank you guys. Now let's head over to Mackenzie and Olivia with entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. I am Mackenzie.
And I'm Olivia.
When people think of Phoenix, they typically don't think about gardens and green plants, but springtime in Phoenix is a great time to see desert plant life in bloom.
There is no better place to see thousands of plants from hundreds of species than the Desert Botanical Gardens by the Phoenix Zoo. Not only is it a great place to see these plants, but for select days in March, you can actually go and buy unique species of cactus, succulents, and other desert plants right here at the gardens.
From March 19th through the 28th, you can go and look through the plants for sale. You must reserve tickets online, but they are free. Experts will be on hand to teach you how to properly care for your new plants as well.
If buying plants is not what you want, you can purchase tickets to explore the gardens at your own pace. See you next time with more entertainment news.
Thanks, girls. Now here's Joke of the Week with Addie. And welcome to Joke of the Week. My name is Addie.
And I'm Bree.
This week's joke is going to be...
What do you call a snowman in spring break?
I don't know. What do you call a snowman in spring break?
A puddle.
Great joke, Bree. If you have a joke and would like to be on the news, please go to smusd.me/beonthenews, and we would love to have you on.
See you next time on Joke of the Week.
Thank you, girls. Now let's head over to Fun Fact Trivia with Queen and Isabel.
Welcome to Fun Fact Trivia. My name is Izzy.
And I'm Queen.
March 9th is National Barbie Day. It is celebrated on March 9th because that is the day the first Barbie was released to the public. Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts. The Ruth Handler created the doll.
Barbie's first marketing strategy relied almost completely on television advertising. For example, Barbie was the sole sponsor of the Mickey Mouse Club, marketing directly to children. It was a unique approach for the time. It estimates placed over 1 billion Barbie dolls and have been sold worldwide in over 150 countries. Today's question is, what year was the first Barbie released?
A. 1955.
B. 1959.
C. 1964.
You have 10 seconds to make your decision.
If you said B, 1959, you are correct. The modern Barbie offers positive role models in business, science, education, and more.
In 1988, the Toy Hall of Fame inducted Barbie into its hallowed halls. See you next time on Fun Fact Trivia.
Thanks, girls. Now here's This Week in History with Josh.
Welcome to This Week in History. My name is Josh. On this day, March 9th, 1981, a nuclear accident at a Japan Atomic Power Company plant in Suruga, Japan, exposes 59 workers to radiation. The officials in charge failed to inform the public and nearby residents, endangering them. Suruga lies near Wakaza Bay in the west coast of Japan. Approximately 60,000 people lived in the area surrounding the atomic power plant. On March 9th, a worker forgot to shut a critical valve, causing a radioactive sludge tank to overflow. 56 workers were sent in to mop up the radioactive sludge before the leak could escape the disposal building. But the plan was not successful, and 16 tons of waste spilled into Wakaza Bay. Despite the obvious risks of people eating contaminated fish caught in the bay, Japan's Atomic Power Commission made no public mention of the accident or spill. That is all for This Week in History.
Thanks, Josh. Now let's head over to Science Time with Bryn and Aubrey.
Welcome to Science Time. My name is Bren.
And I am Aubrey. Car makers around the world are being forced to make fewer cars because they can't get enough computer parts. Several factories have been closed temporarily as a result. The problem is expected to continue for several months. When you imagine car parts, you might not think of computers.
But tiny computers called microprocessors are incredibly important in modern cars. As cars have gotten fancier, these microprocessors, commonly known as chips, have been added to control many different parts of a car. Modern cars may have as many as 150 microprocessors. Chips control all sorts of things, from how the fuel goes into the engine to the way the car brakes, as well as controlling dozens of other systems. These days, checking a car's computer system might be the first step a mechanic takes to figure out what's wrong with a car.
Last year, as places around the world went into lockdown because of the coronavirus, many car makers had to close their factories. Since they weren't making cars, they canceled many of their orders with chip makers.
See you next week with more Science Time. Thanks, girls. Now let's go to Word of the Week with Anthony.
Welcome to Word of the Week. My name is Anthony. This week's word is obtain. Obtain is a verb and it means to get, acquire, or secure something. Here's how you can use it in a sentence. My homework was to write a biography about someone famous, so my dad took me to the library to obtain some information. This is all for Word of the Week.
Have a great spring break. See you back here on the 23rd of March.
That's all for this episode of TNN.
See you next time.